inventory of inflectional morphology. Let's look at some more items of the list. In the Semitic language family, inflection often involves internal variation in vocalic and syllabic patterns, while the consonantal frame stays the same, right? Stable. So there is some internal vowel change. The consonants do not get changed. So we call this root and pattern morphology. So this type of morphology is known as root and pattern. Especially it takes place in certain Arabic nouns. The inclusion of the loanword bank into Arabic is to show that the particular way of forming the plural is productive. So we can see that the plural form begins with the syllable pattern of C, consonant B, vowels, consonant, vowels and vowels. And then we can add something. For example, if you look at this root, singular, plural and gloss. So we have the root, which is all consonant. We can have j, n, d and b, right? These are the root words. So the singular form from this is jandub and the plural is janadib. This is locus. Similarly, sa, la, ta and na, you have singular sultan and plural salatin. Sultan, nafasa, nafs and nafus and soul. Similarly, banaka, bank, and banuk and bank. So this is, you can see that how a loan word, an English word, is fit into this type of morphology. Root and pattern morphology is yet another way of banding a form to fit a particular syntactic context. And reduplication is one of the aspect of this type of morphology. A way of expressing inflectional forms, right? In certain languages, for example, we have gone through this reduplication from a phonological perspective, but let's now look at a morphological perspective. Example from the Indonesian plural here. Kuda kuda horses. Kuda horse and kuda kuda horses. So reduplicated, we have used a reduplicated form of the lexeme to get the meaning of plural. So we can find same rumah houses, and this is singakartan abbreviations, right? So one thing is there, as we have seen, that the lexeme is repeated to give a plural meaning. This plural meaning, to give by repetition the plural meaning, is not obligatory, right? So the speaker of the Indonesian language use an unreduplicated form to refer to a singular as well as plural noun, right? So this is obligatory, especially in the cases when the number of the noun is not clear. So in that case, the reduplication is obligatory. Otherwise, if the number is known from the context or the sentence, there is no need of it. Suppletions are another type of inflections. Suppletions is said to take place when the syntax requires a form of lexeme that is not morphologically predictable. Especially if we take the example of the verb to be, form be, right? Its forms are not predictable as we can predict the form of play and played, work and worked. But if we take the form of be, it's difficult to reach is are, am, was or were. So this instance is suppletion. MR is, was, were. They are different. So these are phonologically different from the be form. We also find suppletion with pronouns. Look at this. We and ours. There are two different forms. Example of suppletion in other languages: French, to go, vais, aller, to go, and vais, go. So there is no similarity between the infinitive and the present form. And similarly in Spanish and Finnish, Greek, and Swedish, you can see different words which are used infinitive or in present form and the present form and the bare infinitive form or the infinitive form, and though they don't have any similarity, right? So they are all suppletive forms. We can look to historical linguistics for an explanation for how suppletive forms arise. So to understand, we have to look at the history of the word. The paradigm of the verb to go in French, for example, comes from three different Latin sources. So to understand the French infinitive and its present form, bare infinitive form, past and past participle forms, they have their sources in Latin forms, Latin words. The idiosyncrasies of languages today can often be explained by looking at the languages of yesterday. Historical linguistics has to be studied. In certain cases, such as with catch and caught and think and thought and other verbs like them in English, it is most convenient to speak of a partial suppletion, right? So we can say that the first th sound is the same, then there is a vowel change, and the last consonant sound is also changed. However, we can see that the t refers to the past tense, similar as in thought and as in caught. In these cases, the initial phonemes or phonemes of the word remain the same, but there is an internal vowel change, as I just said, and the end of the word, the loss of the segments and addition of the past tense indicator, that is t. So these are some types of inflectional morphologies, that how it differs from language to language. Some cases are found in English language, others are not found. How we need to understand these aspects, these things tell us that we need to look at the history of the languages to understand different words in different languages. We have to look at their sources.